So good morning and thank you for the invitation. To begin, I will give you a short presentation of Michel Saint-Léon and his notebooks before telling you about the Bolero and Cachucha in the notebooks. More details will be in the publication. The dancing master Léon Michel, alias Michel Saint-Léon, was born in 1777 and died in 1853. His career as a dancer at the opera starts in 1803 until 1817. Léon Michel is a testimony to choreographic creation of the Académie Royale de Musique, such as La Dansomanie, La Vestale of Pierre Gardel, or Les Noces de Gamache of Louis Milon. He begins to take notes of some ballets, and he sees the evolution of the technique of the ballet with Geneviève Gosselin, who rises on the tip of the toes in Flore et Zéphyr in 1815. In 1819, he arrives in Stuttgart to teach dance to the prince and princesses of Württemberg. Between 1829 and 1836, Michel Saint-Léon writes 4 notebooks and uses them as a memory aid for him. He describes exercises for training of the dancers, theatrical dances, and social dances. These notebooks are dedicated to the princesses of Württemberg, to whom he teaches dance, and to his own son, Arthur, who is to become the great dancer and choreographer Arthur Saint-Léon. The 4 notebooks are handwritten in the form of personal notes that can be used as a memory aid to resume exercises, to archive ballet choreographies, and to not download musical scores. The notebooks that interest us here are notebooks 3 and 4. The third notebooks, entitled Cahiers d'exercice pour leur Altesse Royale les Princesses de Württemberg, dates from 1830. We find character dances borrowing their style from national folk dances: Allemande, Bolero, Mazurka, Cracovia, Cossack. These dances were danced at balls, but were also part of some ballets performed on theatrical scenes, whose extra-national influences were to the taste of the time. The 4th notebook seems to have been written between 1833 and 1836. We find 4 ballet entries choreographed by great dancers of the time, Pierre Gardel, Jean-Pierre Homer, or Albert. And more character dances: Tyrolienne, Cossack, Cachucha. From a musical point of view, Michel Saint-Léon borrows from the repertoire of his century, Spontini, Aubert, Kreutzer, as well as that of a recent past, Grétry, Méhul, Mozart, or Rameau, without forgetting the timeless Folie d'Espagne or God Save the Queen. 3 Bolero are scored by Michel Saint-Léon, 2 duets and 1 solo. Bolero composé par Saint-Léon. Bolero de Milon. Bolero composé pour son Altesse Royale, la Princesse Augusta. In the 4th notebook, the music of the Cachucha from Le Diable Boiteux, danced by Fanny Hessler, is noted. It is possible that Michel Saint-Léon used it to create a choreography dedicated to one of the princesses, the Nouvelle Cachucha pour son Altesse Royale Augusta, whose notation is not very neat, with many erasures. There is also a guaracha, danse espagnole ou Nouvelle Cachucha, dansée pour la princesse Augusta, on the music of the Guaracha di Valencia. At the same time that Michel Saint-Léon was writing his notebooks, Carlo Blasis published his Manuel complet de la danse with a chapter dedicated to Spanish dances for which he gives many definitions. The Spanish dances, in their steps, lightness, grace, elasticity, swaying are noticed, and the majestic movements express those feelings that determine the national character, that is, hate, pride, love, and arrogance. In the execution of Spanish dances, the arms are always extended and their movements on all sides are always undulating. Michel Saint-Léon gives two definitions of the pas de boléro. Pas de boléro, deux appels du pied de devant, two calls of the foot in front. Or, pas de boléro derrière, hit a bit behind at the third and fourth position. The reconstruction of the bolero raised several questions, namely the musical setting of the choreography. Michel Saint-Léon does not give us any indication about the number of bars to be used for each sequence. The musical score seems to be our only indication, as it allows us to have the overall structure and therefore the number of bars. The first 8 bars with a repeat in 3/4 time correspond to the menuet fandango. The rest of the score correspond to the bolero in 3/4 time. These two pieces are taken from the final of second act of Les Noces de Gamache, music composed by François Charlemagne Lefebvre. Les Noces de Gamache, inspired by Cervantes' Don Quixote, is a ballet in 2 acts choreographed by Louis Milon and first performed at the Académie Royale de Musique in 1801. Louis Milon was a dancer, choreographer, and second ballet master at the Académie Royale de Musique alongside Pierre Gardel. The menuet fandango and bolero were danced by Auguste Vestry and Mademoiselle Chevigny. Milon's bolero is therefore a duet for a man and a woman. It begins with a courtesy that places the dancer opposite each other in the corner, on the tone of the menuet fandango. The bolero itself is performed on the tune of the bolero. For the reconstruction of this dance, a musical reprise had to be added. The version is not completely conclusive, but it is still in the research stage. Here is a proposal of the bolero performed by Lorena Lopez and myself. So I repeat the video. Sorry. So. And now it's better?
Yes. Thank
okay.
You.
Sorry.
Merci.
The Bolero composed for Son Altesse Royale la Princesse Augusta is choreographed by Michel Saint-Léon on the same music and responds to the number of bars indicated on the score. Michel Saint-Léon gives us little information about the posture of the arms. Michel Saint-Léon does not mention the fact of having castanets. The solo takes up some of the choreographic motif of the duet, such as the sequence chassé à trois pas, coupé dessous, pas de basque, or the sequence of pas de bourrée that ends the dance. Now here is the version choreographed by Michel Saint-Léon.
Irène, s'il vous plaît, we are over the time limit. If you could finish.
Just 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Merci.
So the guaracha, danse espagnole ou nouvelle cachucha composée pour la princesse Augusta is broken down into 9 paragraphs, each using 16 bars of music. The musical form of the guaracha di Valencia is a rondo form. Unlike the bolero, the music setting of the guaracha is obvious. The fact that it is described in paragraph makes it easier to reconstruct. Michel Saint-Léon gives us some information on the posture of the arms and the change of shoulder. The contre-pied sequence is often repeated. Here is a proposal for a reconstruction of the guaracha. And thank you very much.
Merci.